All right, guys, we got a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. It's downpouring rain. You're probably going to hear it because we live in a hillbilly garage, and, well, you know, that's just part of the deal because I'm too lazy to edit videos and make them fancy. So you get the raw, uncut version. This is Marketplace Gems, Low Ballers, episode 8. 9? Yeah, it's going to be fine. Nobody's really keeping track anyways, you know. They just weekly view our crap and hear what we've got to talk about. Anyways, I've got a couple of marketplace situations going on, but today we're mainly going to concentrate on Big Bad Brad's Cadillac Nightmare. And I haven't looked or listened to what he has wrote down. I've been with him since day one on this journey of picking this unit up to where it is. Maybe, I have no idea. That's kind of where we're at. So we'll let Brad take off, and I'll finish up when he's done. Stay tuned.
He'll chime in and throughout the story.
And we are not sponsored by Little Debbie's, although I wish we were. Just saying.
All right, folks, here we go. A couple years back, I bought an 89 Cadillac Chrome, and it was Rhino Line Black, and it sat around here a couple years till I could do something with it.
Now don't forget, I think you're forgetting one important part. It had the high performance 307 V8.
So when I could do something with it, I took it to a local shop in Delavan, Wisconsin, and the guy said he could excuse me, engine swap it with a 6-liter LS that I wanted. So I had bought a 6-liter LS for $1,200 from a shop in Elkhorn, and took it to the shop in Delavan, and the guy proceeded not to touch the Cadillac for a month, and he asked me to put $400 down before he would touch it, so I did that. And another month went by, and I got a phone call another month later saying that they were going to move shops to Lake Geneva. And after that, I go, well, is the engine in the car? He goes, no. Your timetable for us to do the work was not enough time. And I'm like, I told you no rush. What work did you get done? He goes, nothing. So
They didn't pull the motor out, did they?
No.
When it was at that place in Delavan, I thought they pulled the motor and trans out of there, didn't they? Yeah, they did. They pulled the original motor and trans out of the car. 'Cause remember, it was sitting over there by the side of the building.
Oh, yep. The original Feisty 307.
Yeah. So basically, what it was is Brad's not trying to be a cheap ass. Basically, what happened was we found a guy online that was recommended by a handful of people we know. Brad is not the up and up on doing mechanical repairs. I work a full-time job. I don't have a lot of time to be helping friends out. I got a million things going on as it is all the time anyways. So we took the advice of a few people. We took this car to a guy that supposedly was legit. He gave Brad a number. Brad didn't say, hey, I'm being a brokey and this is what I want to pay you. He gave Brad a number, and what ended up happening, I remember this bit very vividly. Dude got the car, sat there for like 2 months, didn't do a damn thing to it, and he literally, I don't know if he threw this thing on the lift, what he did, he ripped the hood off the car, took a Sawzall, cut the fucking cross member.
The trans cross.
Sorry, don't F-bombs. I remember YouTube don't like that. Anyways, cut the cross member, pulled the drive shaft, threw the drive shaft away, scrapped it, we don't know. Literally took his motor and tranny, just threw it in the yard, and tossed the hood back on the car. We asked him while the car was there if he could get the driver's door window put up. Didn't put it up, cut a bunch of the wiring harness underneath the hood of the car, and literally just dumped the car outside and left it. That's the quality of work you got for the $400 that Brad paid. Now granted, this guy was recommended to us by more than one person, known throughout the community. Brad didn't tell him, hey, I'm refusing to pay you. No, this was the money he said he wanted to start the job. And this is what we got. Basically, the car got fucking trashed. Sorry, F-bomb again. And took dude's money and said, have a nice day, basically, is what ended up happening.
And so, because he was moving shops, he told me I had to find somebody else to finish the job. So I went on Marketplace and found another guy to do an LS swap. And
This guy seemed pretty legit, too. I mean, this guy had pictures, videos.
multiple pictures, multiple videos. I found him, or we found him in Rockford, and he did really good work. I sent him, we looked at him, everything seemed really good. We went and looked at his stuff. Everything seemed good. So I told the guy that had my car, I found a guy. He said he would take the car there. So I said, okay, let's go. He took the car there, my engine, everything, dropped it off at this guy's house in Rockford. And me not being much of a car guy, and not knowing any better, I asked the guy what he wanted for the work. The guy said he would take $4,000 for the job. And I paid, and being that this other previous guy cut the trans cross member out and the wiring harness and
You see the drive shaft.
they had the drive shaft, everything. I figured I'd toss in a few extra bucks, and I paid this new guy $4,500 up front for all the work.
Now, not to pick on Brad too much, but Brad knows this. I did tell him ahead of time, just so we don't get roasted on this, I did tell him I would only give him a small portion down, because I have a lot of trust issues when it comes to people doing auto repair and not doing the work when they say they're going to. And especially when you give them money ahead of time, it seems like the effort to get the job done isn't really there. Not trying to cut in on Brad, but I am saying this was brought up. But Brad is a big boy, he's allowed to make his own decisions. Continue on.
And the guy said, perfect. He goes, I'll have it done in a month.
I'm pretty sure he did say that too, yeah.
And so a month comes by, I don't hear from him. 2 months, 3 months, 4, still haven't heard from him, so I call him. I don't hear from him, I call him, I get his mom. He's in jail on child support.
Shocker.
So 6 months goes by, I call him. He goes, sorry, I was in jail on child support. So then I go down there again, and I pay him $3 more.
Don't forget you bought a training too.
I did. pay $700 for a 4L80E transmission to go with the 6-liter, which I dropped off.
I think you gave some of that money was for like wiring harness,
Yep.
a bunch of other things,
Yep.
security delete, all that stuff, that programming.
Yeah.
There was some extra money even for that too.
Yeah,
So,
because it wouldn't fire, and because of all the
Yeah.
previous guy just cutting everything. And so at this point, I'm roughly $8,800 into this car.
not to mention that at this point in time, I'm kind of a thorn in Brad's ass about this stuff. And I keep asking him every week or two what's going on. So
I paid $1,800 for the Cadillac to start.
we actually took a little, what was this called, a research mission. And we drove down to dude's house, and the car was there the first time we stopped down there. And he had talked about he did all this work to it. Let's be honest, it looks like to me the guy hooked a cherry picker up to the motor, threw it in the car, tossed a freaking painless wiring kit on the car to make it look like he was doing something, and that was it. I mean, literally, it didn't look like anything had changed.
I had called him, and he said that he had got the motor running, but it spun a cam bearing.
Yeah.
And then without my knowledge, he said he took it apart. But then he posted a YouTube video of his Monte Carlo with a brand new 6-liter in it.
Looked oddly, surprisingly similar to the motor
That I had
that
paid
we
for.
dropped off.
Yes.
Very interesting. And I actually was, I understand it's not my problem, but I had actually reached out to this guy because I told him, I said, there's no way there's anything wrong with that motor. There's no way. It was running before it was dropped off at your place and ran fine. It had low miles on it. This motor was clean, and it didn't have nothing for miles on it. What did that have? Do you remember anymore? Like 70,000 miles? Something like. It wasn't bad at all. And very complete, well taken care of motor. That's why we paid good money for it at the time. And he sent me a video of this thing supposedly having a bad cam bearing. I told Brad numerous times, I said, any shop that has any type of reputation, anything, you don't just take your customer's motor and rip it apart. You don't, that's not how this works. You know as well as I do, if you take your car to a shop and it needs more work done to it than it's supposed to have done, you contact the customer, you talk to them, you get permission from them before proceeding. It's very simple. This guy literally took this motor, ripped the heads off it, the entire front, pulley system, everything, and he's saying he couldn't get the cam even to come out of the motor because the bearing was messed up on it. And I actually contacted this guy, and I told him, I was like, look, buddy, I said, I want the VIN and the numbers off the back of that block, because who we got it from, we can verify if it's the same motor or not. And oddly enough, you know what he did? He didn't get back to me on that one. There's a real shocker, right? Yeah.
He moved shops to South Rockford.
I think that address was like closer to Byron now. Wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
Somewhere between like Southern Rockford and Byron, Illinois, somewhere in that area.
it's quite the trip away now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long ways now. And
Yeah, because we ended up taking one more trip down there, and all the vehicles were gone, yard was empty, everything.
And now instead of just regular Rockford, like an hour and 20 minutes away, now it's like a 3.5-hour trip down. And
Yeah, I would be willing to, not to cut Brad off on this ordeal, but I'd be willing to bet one of a handful of things has happened. A, the car's laying in someone's backyard, field somewhere, still hasn't been touched. B, the car was stripped and crushed. Or another situation, the car was, demoed or, got or just abandoned. So who knows? The situation is we'll let Brad finish up. But be very careful with who you let touch your stuff. Facebook Marketplace is full of real shady people.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna take a giant loss on this car for sure.
Oh, huge loss. Yeah.
Definitely gonna listen to Big Red over here from now on.
If anybody's gotten hard lessons taught in life on vehicles, this guy has. I've had so many ups and downs, I couldn't begin to tell you how many times I've been ripped off by people. I mean, it's sad how reliable people really are and how two-faced people are. I mean, I've had people tell me, oh yeah, this car runs and drives great, and I make it literally 5 minutes down the road, and catastrophe hits. But magically, it always ran perfect for the previous 2 years they owned it. So,
That's all I got, man.
yeah. Well, anyway, so I guess the lesson to learn here is don't ever give people your money until you see progress. That's kind of what I've been trying to install in him is, kind of like the pay for play kind of thing. Unless you've got a, legit reputable shop or a family member that you really, really trust, I mean, I ain't giving you no money until I see some actual work getting done to my car. I mean, you just can't trust people. They'll take your money and run, or like in this guy's example, ends up in jail. Or that's not my problem, buddy. You took a job. You were paid to do a job. I expect you to do the job. But unfortunately, people are just scoundrels, and they don't really care, So, anyways, on to my end on things this week. It's been kind of a slow week. Not a whole lot going on. Like I always say, I think everybody's broke. Pretty close to where I'm at, which is fine. We had the Galaxy on Marketplace for about 3 weeks now, and I finally just took the trade option off because, I mean, the stuff people are offering you, I mean, let's be honest, most of it belongs in the junk pile, I mean, I just yesterday out of the blue, I don't follow Fox Body Mustangs a whole lot. I mean, I've had a lot of them over the years, but, whatever. I had a guy message me yesterday, and he goes, would you trade for the Galaxy? This is what we're talking about at the moment. Would you trade for, I think it was like an 86 or something. I think they called it a GLX Mustang. And I'm like, send me some pictures and info on it, and we'll go from there. I mean, if it's something that's really, really, really nice, 5 liter, maybe if it's got a 5-speed in it, I might consider it. I don't know. I mean, I really just want to sell it and, get some work done here at the house. And anyways, I take one look at it. And I mean, it's the typical junk people are trying to pawn off, The fender extensions are all bent up on it. Paint's dog shit. He's got the convertible top down on it. And the convertible top's messed up. And it's not a 5.0, I think it was like a 3.8 V6, automatic, mismatched wheels on it. Come on, dude. Let's be honest. That's like $1,000 frickin' Mustang, and you think it's worth a pile of money? Whatever, dude. Keep that pile of junk. And I happened to laugh the other day. This is completely off topic, but there's a guy maybe like 10, 15 minutes away from me. He's got an old Thunder Chicken for sale. Like, I think it's like 88, 89, back when they made like those turbo coupe Thunder Chickens. And this one's got a 302 in it. And he's had it on there forever, and he had it at like $2,000, dropped it down to $1,000. And I just, for whatever reason, I saw it getting cheaper and cheaper, and I'm like, hey, if I can get this thing for a little bit of nothing, I might buy it just to do some stupid burnout and donut videos so the son of a bitch blows up and I'll just scrap it, And I clicked on his ad, and it says all the brake lines are blown, all of them, And I'm like, well, I'm in brake line, and you can hook up the front brakes on it and do some burnouts with it, And I click on dude's ad, and I'm looking at the pictures, and I see he's got a video of it running. Oh my God. Yeah, he's got it in the garage, and I mean, it's literally, it looks like the garage has like a fucking diesel running in it with all the black smoke just pouring out of the garage door. I mean, the thing sounds like it's, idling at like 400 or 500 RPM, and it's like got like a Holley 850 4 barrel just pouring gas down in the floor. Just sounds absolutely awful. And I happened to notice in one of the pictures, you know, if nobody knows anything about these cars, there's just like a Fox body. The strut towers are notorious for rotting out on them. You look at the one picture, the strut tower is just gone. I mean, there's like a hole this big in the strut tower. And, you know, it's somebody, and he put in his ad, you know, I was driving this thing, and I'm like, oh my God, you're driving that piece of shit down the road? Oh, all right. Well, whatever, you know. And, but then we'll get back to the Galaxy before I get too far off on that. But anyway, I had several people, once I took the trade thing off there, I had several guys, I threw it on there, I lowered the price down to $5,500. I had several people offer me $2,000, and you know, it's like, buddy, the car's got $1,000 worth of new rubber on it. I mean, it's not going to happen, you know. And it's the usual suspects, if you know what I mean. But anyways, just a lot of cheap, shitty offers that people are sending me. Another thing that seems to be a really big phenom for me is people trying to offer me Harley Davidsons. I mean, I've probably, over the course of 20 years, I've probably had a minimum of 200-300 motorcycles offered to me for vehicles. No, I don't want your motorcycle. Like, but that are boats, jet skis, campers, you name it. I mean, I literally could have had dozens of campers by now. Boats, oh my God. I mean, boats are like, I would say, the second most offered item I ever get on trade. I may have nothing listed for trade, and I'll have a guy, will you take a motorhome? Will you take a camper? No, I don't want any of that junk. I have a house to live in. I don't need your freaking motorhome, buddy. And anyways, so enough on the Galaxy. Just a bunch of lowball scumbags have been hitting me up on that. And so basically where we're at is I've been on this kick lately that I want to get a 2-post car lift put in my garage here. And we drove out the concrete on Saturday. The concrete's thick enough. I want to put a 2-post lift in. We're not going to go too in-depth on this ordeal, but I got a quote the other day from one guy, offered to do it really reasonable for me. And anyways, I had another guy get a quote from somebody else that came out here, and they quoted me, I think it was between $12,000 and $14,000 to raise my ceiling 3 feet for a 2-post lift. Anyways, we're not gonna crap on them too hard about anything, but I thought that was ludicrous for literally just one stall over here. But hey, whatever, you know. I mean, I don't do contracting work. I mean, maybe that's a fair price, but in my book, it's just not gonna happen. So basically, what it came down to is I've decided we're gonna go with the little bit shorter lift. It still raises the car. I think I read in the ad like 6 feet, something like that. That'll work plenty well for the kind of auto repair I'm doing here anyways. So I'm about 90% certain that's what we're gonna end up doing. And then on to a few other things. So the Citation we've got here in the back corner, I've been thinking about letting that go. I mean, I've got so many other projects going on. I don't know when I'm gonna get around to it. I'd rather use the money towards doing some work here on the house. And you know, I threw it on there originally for like $3,000. I know that's ludicrous, but anyway, just, you know, you gotta start somewhere. Dropped her down to $2,500, dropped her down to $2,000, dropped it down to $1,500, and I'm not gonna go any less than $1,500. I mean, if you look at this car, this is a great platform to build. I mean, this has got a supercharged 3.8 V6 with a Pontiac Hero 4-speed in it. The car is actually really solid. Guy we got it from did some really great work to it. Unfortunately, he had some issues health-wise. He did not put antifreeze in the car, and it cracked the water jacket above the center freeze plug on the firewall side of the block. And I have driven the car. It runs, it drives, it stops, but obviously it will overheat because it doesn't hold fluid. But anyways, I had several people recently that were interested in buying the car. I had a couple people offer me $1,000, and you know where that went. But anyways, basically, like today, I had just this morning 2 people separately, and they were in different states, so I thought maybe it was the same person, offer me Honda Goldwings for this car. No, I don't want your freaking Goldwings, you know. I always say this when it comes to motorcycles. If you have a Harley, a Yamaha, anything like that, I mean, 25 cents on the dollar. That's what I'll give you trade value for it. And you know, you may not like that, but me personally, I like motorcycles. And the market is just saturated with motorcycles. You tell me, how many 81 Chevy Citation X11s do you have in your neighborhood for sale right now? I bet 0. How much? And then take a few minutes, go on the interwebs, type in motorcycle, and you tell me how many thousands of motorcycles you have in your area for sale. Speaks for itself. Not hating on motorcycles, just not my thing. And then on top of that, we got the TDI Bug pretty much all buttoned up on that thing. And I threw him back on Marketplace. I already had a few offers for $2,000 on it. Like I told him, before I put the new turbo and everything into it, yeah, I would have sold it for $2,000. But now that it's running, driving, stopping, no. I'm thinking like $3,000. And you know, and if I can't get that out of it, I have no problem driving the car. I mean, we went this far into it. It runs good. It drives nice. I mean, we got new rubber put on it now too. I mean, heat works, power windows work, radio works, all the lights work. I see $3,000 there. I mean, especially in today's economy with what we're paying for fuel. I know diesel's a little bit more expensive, but you know, if you look online, they claim them cars get 50 miles to the gallon. I don't know. I think it's a pretty decent investment, especially this time. Yeah, other than that, that's kind of where we're at so far. And you know, hopefully we don't know the end with Brad's Cadillac. I mean, I don't think anybody really has the answer to that. But we will say this: if you're on Facebook Marketplace and you're looking to pay somebody to do an LS swap, I will tell you, and Brad will tell you, if you need any recommendations, we will tell you who to stay away from. Because he's on Facebook Marketplace, and last time I looked, it's listed as Rockford. It says, we'll do LS swaps. We're not going to say the guy's name because we're not trying to get ourselves in hot water or legal issues. However, all you got to do, look on Marketplace, his ad's still on there. We'll do LS swaps, and I think he's got it listed for like $3,000-$4,000, something like that, to do LS swaps. And guy's a real scumbag, and you know, if he watches this, I really don't care because facts are facts, and we don't care what your feelings are. You literally screwed dude over, and you deserve to pay him every single penny back. I don't care if people agree with me or not. Brad may not have made the best financial choice, but at the end of the day, the guy seriously just ripped him off. He got nothing for it, and at the very least, he should pay him back the money. Simple as that. Now, I mean, if you want to go that route where he should pay a little bit of storage, I mean, whatever, that's fine. But the amount of money Brad paid him and to get screwed over like that, I've told Brad numerous times, and I know he doesn't want to go that route, and I understand it, but I told him, I said, me personally, if it was on my end, I would sue the guy. And whether or not you even get anywhere, it doesn't matter to me. The fact to me is somebody took your money, and not just a little bit of money, a significant amount of money, screwed you over, basically ruined your entire car, didn't touch the damn thing, and had a great time doing it. And but that's up to him, you know, and if that's something he doesn't want to do, that's his decision. But all I can tell you is Brad wasn't real keen on even telling people about it. I encourage, because that tells other people the kind of scoundrels that are out there to steal the money from you and won't do anything for it. They just want it. They don't want to do nothing for it. So it is what it is. And it looks like our storm is cleared up. Hopefully the rain isn't too heavy duty on the volume in the background on this picture, but if it is, it is. We're just a couple of hillbillies sitting in the garage talking to a camera, so, you know. Yeah. But anyways, that'll do her for today. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. I know Brad enjoys it, and hopefully next week we'll have something more interesting going on. All I can tell you is hopefully we get some extra cash rolling in, and we're going to get that new lift put in. And maybe if you guys are extremely lucky, I'll go to Walmart.com today and get my new tripod ordered up so we've got a better view instead of doing it how we do. Trust me, you don't want to know how I've got this camera propped up right now. You make fun of me in a lot of ways.
Would you ever?
Yeah, so better off we'll keep that behind the scenes. What you don't know won't hurt you. So, alrighty, until next week, guys, take care. And when in doubt, we're just not gonna say that.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it PG-13. Take care, guys.